All right, today we're going to review specific information for presidents and vice presidents on campus. So this year is a unique year. We need all student leaders to go to EngageDU Student Life Involvement page and read and review the COVID-19 policies and guidelines for the group. That will talk about, because of COVID, what are our current operating policies and procedures. Some of this information that I'm going to share to you is what happens in a normal year. So all of the COVID guidelines supersede any of the previous rules. If there are no further rules, you go then down in the handbook and assume the normal rules. So please do check those out. It's a responsibility to know and abide by those expectations. So all students who have an officer position need to be in good academic standing, have a good disciplinary record, and at least have a 2.5 when they step into the role. So if you were to want to be a vice president of a group and you're not at 2.5, you would not be allowed to do that. So please make sure that the group is reviewing this as they're electing new members or having people join their clubs for certain positions. It is the responsibility of the student organization to manage the leadership positions, the membership, and the organization through the EngageDU feature. Also on EngageDU, the group's constitution is there and bylaws. So if it ever needs to be reviewed, updated, amended, that is on there for the club to do that. Different clubs and orgs will need to submit mid-year report in December and at the end of the year. We'll have a one-sheeter document that's given to you during training that you'll need to review and be familiar with so you meet all requirements for the year. Also, another big one is that we want each year that the officers of the club talk with their advisor and sign the advisor agreement form. So this way everybody is on the same page and no one's feeling like someone isn't meeting expectations. Another general one. Again, on the one-sheeter, there's information about clubs and orgs and required meetings and tasks, so please review that. For DU leads and leadership councils, a student can represent 2 organizations. However, for other training and requirements, it needs to be 1 unique member that counts as that attendance and representation for your club. All clubs and orgs on campus must be free for all students to join, with the exception of if it's a national membership fee. Also, clubs and orgs need to remember to re-register at the end of each academic year. At Dominican, there will be no tolerating any hazing of any kind for club members. Also, non-discrimination, that you cannot discriminate against somebody based on their race, color, gender, religion, national or ethnic origin, disability, age, marital status, sexual orientation, or on the basis of a person who has a disability. All clubs and orgs are responsible to submit their activities and events into EngageDU. So say you're doing an online event, that still needs to go through. Say you want to do a virtual fundraiser for a nonprofit, or if you're a non-annually funded club for your own club, those requests all need to go into EngageDU to be reviewed by our office. Again, remember the timeline for an event or a specific opportunity needs to be 14 days before. We want you to do that once so we're on the same page and that you have plenty of time to market that event. When you're requesting space on campus and you need foods, you need a certain setup, all those types of in-house Dominican needs and facility requests need to be submitted 14 days prior to the event. So we really encourage people not to wait to the last minute to put in a request at the 2-week deadline, but to do it as soon as they know that they want to host an event or an activity. Contracts, policies. So anytime you're having a performer, speaker, vendor, you must bring that contract to Student Life. We want to get that at least 30 days prior to the event so we can review it, approve it, and sign it. Sometimes a contract negotiation goes back and forth or things need to be clarified. That is why that timeline is set. And then everything must be complete 2 weeks prior to the event. So if there is contract dispute or different things going back and forth and it's not approved 2 weeks before, the event date will need to be pushed back. Fundraisers. So organizations must list the purpose of fundraisers and recipients on any advertisements or when fundraising in person. If you're ever doing donation drives, you need to submit that as an activity into EngageDU, but then also prior to doing that, if you wanted to put it in the library, you would need to be talking to the staff of the specific location. Again, every type of fundraiser needs to go through Engage DU to be reviewed, and annually funded organizations cannot hold a fundraiser for themselves. Raffles. Selling raffle tickets for a prize is not allowed. All raffles must be free to participate in. Your raffle cannot be a cash prize, but it can be in the form of gift cards, tickets, or tangible items such as a new basketball or a really nice coffee mug. Bake sales. Recognized student organizations and advisors cannot cook or prepare food. You need to purchase it from a restaurant or a location, have the ingredients, and also review the food policy handlines to do that appropriate. But you cannot bake or prep anything in your home residence. Off-campus travel. So currently, due to COVID, this is not happening, but in a normal year, you would need to complete an off-campus waiver and put that into our office to review. So this way, in the event of emergency, we would have that information. When you go to submit, say you're volunteering at a local library to read to kids, you would need to put that on Engage DU. You would be prompted with other questions and information, so we would all be on the same page. And lastly, this is not all the information that clubs and orgs need to know, but this is where you can go to Student Life Involvement, our document section. You can find campus policies and guidelines. You can find information about funding and accounting. You can find out about the yearly important information that we share during training, or the one-sheet document that has all the required events, also other opportunities and required tasks. You can find Leadership Council's presentations, and also resources for planning and hosting events. And this year, very specifically and important, as I referred to at the beginning of this, the COVID-19 community guidelines for clubs and orgs, and also the Caritas commitment. So your personal responsibilities of being a DU community member and what you should be doing to protect yourself and protecting the community. Thank you for watching this video. Please take the quiz, and thank you so much.